Yo, what is up guys, it's the Goblin, and today's video, it's going to be another late night upload. You guys are loving this, and this video is going to be pretty intense. Basically what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be explaining, literally this is the ultimate guide to class setups. This is everything you need to know about kill streaks, class setups, guns, attachments, perks. I'm covering all of that in today's video. I'm just going to be showing you guys the class setups because I know class setups are a thing that are always changing. You know, Black Ops 3 has a bunch of patches, the best guns are always switching, so I'm going to talk about everything you really need to know, and this is going to be another late night upload. So if you guys could, drop some support on this late night video, I'd really appreciate that. If you guys could all drop some likes on this thing, if you guys are watching it when it first came out, and even if you are watching this a month later, still drop some likes on it. Anyway guys, if you guys are new to my channel, hit that subscribe button. Let's get right into the video. So basically, I'm going to talk about every single thing you need to know about class setups. I'm going to start off with a gem. This here is what I consider the best class setup in Black Ops 3 consistently. There are some things like that, like the Varric scope is really popular right now, and I'll talk about that. I've made a few videos about that before, but this class setup is one that's always going to be consistent. The VMP is a weapon that's an SMG. It's a very strong weapon. You can see I have the kill counter on it. I have like 15,000 kills with this gun. It's absolutely crazy. By far my most killed gun. Basically, the VMP is always going to be in the top SMGs unless a huge nerf comes out. But what I run on this thing, the great thing about this gun is you start off with 40 bullets in the clip when other guns have 30. This gun has little recoil and it still has a very good, it kills really fast and has a very good fire rate. So what it says is a full auto submachine gun, versatile weapon with a high fire rate and the magazine capacity with moderate recoil, and I find that this works best, these attachments. So what I like to run with these class ups, you have to sort of play to the strength of the gun, and that's what I'm going to be talking about in today's video a lot. You're going to hear me say that, but I run extended mags, quick draw, and grip on this thing. You can swap out the extended mags for fast mags or even anything else if you really wanted long barrel or stock on this thing. Because of it already having 40 bullets in the clip, you really don't need to worry about that. I just personally like extended mag because I play a lot of Nuketown. I like to be able to have a bunch of bullets in the clip. I think you have 56 bullets in the clip when you use this setup like that, but that can be swapped out. But quick draw is always an attachment that you need on pretty much every single SMG. I'd say run quick draw, as well as grip is always going to be a good attachment. Now here for the perks, these are just standard, standard perk setup that I have for an SMG class: flak jacket, scavenger, fast hands, and tac mask. And I'm going to talk about every single thing about perks, but first we'll go over guns and stuff like that because I'm going to explain to you guys. But if you guys are looking for a deadly SMG class, this class setup can be swapped out with anything. Say I want to use this exact class setup. This is one based for small maps. So say I want to use this class setup, but I really like the Razorback. That's my favorite gun. I can just go Razorback, quick draw, grip, extended mags, and that's going to be a very good class setup as well. This class setup is always going to be deadly, running the normal perks with 2 perk 2s and as well as the attachment. So basically what I do when I make these class setups is I base things off of certain things I say are required for class setups. And what I mean by that is something like the Vesper. You should never use the Vesper without a grip because of the super high recoil. You should never use the Vesper without extended mags because of the super small clip size and the fast recoil. So say we have the Vesper here. You can see it's a fastest fire rate in the class. I'd say the required things on the Vesper are the grip as well as the extended mags. These are, you cannot run the Vesper without these things. Once you have your required things, then you get to start to play around with the class setup. So for your first perk setup, you really don't, none of these first perks are really required unless you're playing Nuketown. I'd say flak jacket is pretty much required on Nuketown or Combine because how small paced the map is, or especially on like a game mode like Hardpoint too, it's when flak jacket would be required. But if you're playing Kill Confirmed, you can easily run Afterburner, you could easily run Sixth Sense, Overclock, Ghost, even Blind Eye. I don't think Blind Eye is that good of a perk, but as you guys can see here, any of these would work, and this is all up to personal preference. If you're playing on a map that maybe has a lot of corner camping spots, Sixth Sense would work out good. If you're playing on a map with lots of wall jumps, Afterburner would work out good, and this is where you guys have to decide and edit class setups on your own based off what you guys know about these perks. Flak Jacket, obviously good for a small map. Overclock, very good if you're running a specialist that you think is going to be able to be very good in the next match. So say I'm very good with the Scythe, I might run Overclock here if I don't need any of these other things. Ghost, obviously if you're playing a bunch of low level people, usually when you look at the enemy team's levels, this is a pretty good tip. I don't think I've really given this tip out on my channel before. If you look at the other team's levels and they're all say below level 30, they're probably going to be running UAVs because they don't have the higher kill streaks unlocked. That's when you should run Ghost. Now, the second perk slot is a little bit different in this game. Second perk slot, I personally say Scavenger is required if you want to go on kill streaks. If you're an average player, you're might get 2 kills and die. You don't need Scavenger. So if you don't want to go on big kill streaks, you can straight up take Scavenger out here, and this is where you can decide what you want to run. Anti-up is very underpowered. I don't think you should run that. Tracker Sight is a good perk. Cold-Blooded is good as well, but I'd say Hardwired and Fast Hands are your the big players in the second perk slot. You definitely want to be running Hardwired or Fast Hands, and I'd say Fast Hands most of the time if you're running a Quick Draw, because Quick Draw and Fast Hands pair together very well. So for example, for this class setup, I could have Extend Mags and Grip that I want to throw on Quick Draw with this Fast Hands, and then here I still have 2 more slots to build. So maybe I want to put another perk 1 on, and I want to run 6 Sense. Bam, there's my class setup. This class setup will be absolutely deadly at killing people. Your only problem would be you'd run out of ammo. Now for the third perk slot, this one is a little bit, I'll explain these perks. They're a little different. Gung Ho, pretty much only good if you're running akimbo like pistols or a shotgun. I always use Gung Ho on shotguns, but if you're using a normal gun, just ignore Gung Ho. You don't really need that one. Blast Suppressor is great for search and destroy game modes where people are going to be staring at the minimap. Dead Silence is very good for search and destroy, and if you combo Dead Silence and Awareness together, so say I wanted to do this, and I want to use my headset, say I have an Astro headset or a Turtle Beach headset or whatever, you could run Awareness and Dead Silence. This is more of like a free-for-all class setup. Obviously, if you're playing Hardpoint on Nuketown, there's going to be a ton of explosions. You're not going to be able to listen to footsteps. If you're playing TDM on Fringe, you might be able to hear a lot more footsteps, and that's why you'd run that. But I'd probably say Engineer's not very useful. Tac Mask is probably my favorite perk 3. Tac Mask, Blast Suppressor, and these two can be worked good if you combo them together. That's basically an ultimate guide as far as, you know, when it comes down to perks. You guys just got an ultimate guide. I went on way longer than I expected. Here's another class. I'll give you guys an ultimate guide on attachments real quick. This video is probably going to be pretty long because I'm going really in depth. I hope you guys do enjoy this because I know there's a lot of people that really care. Like, this stuff means a lot. Your class setup is the most important thing in Call of Duty, and this video is really going to give you guys a lot of tips that I've been playing Call of Duty for years. Like, literally, like, I started playing, 2009? So 7 years I've been playing Call of Duty. I know a lot about class setup. So as far as optics, I'd say never run an optic on an SMG. I never run any of these. As far as an assault rifle, maybe if you have one where you don't like the iron sights, XR2, I don't like the iron sights. KN44, I love the iron sight. HVK, they're okay. ICR is okay. Man of War, I love the iron sight. M8, I definitely always run a red dot with the M8. So it's up to personal preference there. But as far as these attachments, if we switch over to assault rifles, because I've talked a lot about SMGs, on assault rifles, I say that the attachment stock is always required. And the reason for that is stock really will elevate your game. And basically what stock does is it lets you move faster while aiming down the sight. Now, a big thing between a good player and a bad player, basically, we'll just say, for the sake of this argument, is a good player will never walk around a corner where they, whenever you're going to walk around a corner, you have the potential to face an enemy that you're not going to be expecting. So if you throw on stock, you aim down sight and walk around the corner, and the other enemy is not as prepared, maybe he's not as good at the game as you, he's going to come around just with a dumb class setup, not aim down sight, he's going to end up trying to spray and hip fire, you're going to have your gun locked onto him with stock, quick draw, and maybe your third one is probably going to be long barrel or something like that for an assault rifle. You have something like this on your class, you're going to win that gunfight all the time, or even rapid fire. So these attachments all depend on the certain situations. Quick draw, obviously, is very good paired with fast mags on a gun that you're going to be getting into some close range engagements. Grip is for a gun with high recoil. Suppressor, I really don't recommend it in this game. I don't think it's that good, and people don't really pay that much attention to the radar in this game, I don't think. Maybe if you're playing like just TDM or free-for-all, Suppressor could be good. High caliber is not really that good except for like the MX Garand or the Shiva or the M8. Stock is on every single assault rifle. On SMGs, you can use it, but SMGs are easier to, like, they already have built-in stock, basically, so it's not required. Laser sight, I'd never use that on an assault rifle. FMJ, you don't really need that unless you're trying to play on a map like Nuketown where you know people are going to be camping in the top building, you want to wallbang them. Fast mags and extended mags, these two I get a lot of questions on. Which is better? Those are all just personal preference. It all depends on the gun. gun. You'd have to test out the gun. Different guns have different reload speeds for different things. You know, fast mags reload might be better on this gun. Extended mags reload might be better on this gun. That's all personal preference, and it depends on the game mode. If you're playing TDM or free-for-all, you're probably going to only run into one enemy at once, so I'd run fast mags. If you're playing ground war, you might run into 5 guys at once, and you need extended mags. Long barrel is very good on assault rifles, and so is rapid fire. And that's basically it for the attachments and the perks. Basically, you want to build your class setup out of that knowledge. So let's say right here, we'll start off with a blank class setup to end this video. So basically, we're going to start off, and I'm going to use what I consider to be one of the better assault rifles in the game, the M8A7, okay? So we'll start off and make my class setup. We'll put on dark matter on that thing. Do I have the weapon prestige? Okay, I'm going to put my clan tag up on that thing. Now, I don't like the iron sights on this gun, so I'm probably going to put a red dot or an ELO sight. Let's go with the ELO sight. I prefer that one right now. I'm kind of in a mix between those two. Now, for the attachments on this gun, let's say the game mode we're going to be playing is, and you can change your class literally before every game. That's something I do a lot, is I customize my class before every single game because I want to make it perfect for the map. So we're going to be playing Domination on Breach for this one, okay? So Breach is a average size map. So I'm going to run on this one. I'm going to run probably we're going to probably just do 2 attachments here. Breach is not the longest range map, so we're not going to do long barrel. We're probably just going to go with quick draw and stock. The M8 has a pretty good you know, the reload time is pretty slow, or not pretty slow, it's average speed, so we'll be fine with this. Now, I really don't rock secondaries that much. But you know, on Breach, there is a lot of close range combat. So we'll probably throw on the Marshall 16, and I'm going to throw those on with the dual wield because I really like that. Let's see what camos. I don't have dark matter for this thing yet. I have to get that. But we're going to throw that one on, okay? Now we make our way down to the perks. Always do the perks before you do the lethals and the tacticals. Perks are so much more important than lethals and tacticals. It's insane. Perk 1 on Breach. What is a good perk for Breach? It has a lot of close corridors on the sides of the map as well as the ends of the map. So I'm going to run 6 cents. My second perk, I'm going to run Fast Hands. I could run Scavenger here if I think I'm going to be running out of ammo, but I have a secondary, so I'm not going to throw on Scavenger. My third perk here, we don't really need any of these third perks to be honest, so we'll save that for later. And I'm probably going to throw on another first perk. I'm probably going to say Overclock here to help me get my specialist a little bit faster. That will definitely help me out to win this game. And bada bing, bada boom. Throwing on Overclock there is a lot more valuable than something like Tac Mask or Blast Suppressor. And here is my class setup for Domination Breach, made specifically to what I want to do in that game. So that's basically it. This is my ultimate guide for class setups. If you guys have any questions, let me know down in the comment section down below. I'll probably make like a part 2 to the series because I didn't really get to cover kill streaks or specialists and stuff like that, or even the wild cards or secondaries. There's a lot of stuff that goes into making these class setups, videos, and then stuff like that. So this class setup would be one for free-for-all. This one designed for Domination Breach. This class setup that I made here would be designed for something like Nuketown, you know, 6 cents flak jacket, made for a small map, close quarters. The Weevil is something you don't really need grip. It has little to no recoil, so I throw on quick draw fast mags. Very simple stuff here. Hopefully this helps you guys out. And if you guys did watch to the end of the video, please comment class set, or just comment class down in the comment section down below if you watched to the end. I know this was a very long video. Hopefully you guys could take a lot of these tips. If you guys could please drop a like on this thing, I really appreciate that. I took my time with this video, and hopefully this will help you guys out. Any question you guys have, let me know in the comment section down below. I'll be reading them out. If I don't answer your question in the comments, I'll try to get it in the next video. I'll probably do a part 2 to this. Anyway, thank you guys for watching today's video. I'm level 352, working on that level 1000. Hope you guys have a great night. Hit a like, subscribe if you guys are new, subscribe for a cookie, and don't looky, and I'm out. Peace. Thanks for watching, guys.